BWF World Tour Super 300. Now, it's time to...
We are in the city of Bangkok, whose official name is actually the longest city name in the world. It's also a place that blends the modern and the traditional with spicy food and very, very gentle people. Such a lovely place. Great to see the tourists pouring back in. It's also the venue here at the Nimiput Arena for the HSBC BWF Thailand Masters 2023, which returns after 3 years. It's finals day here on court 1, all 5 finals for you. Let's start with the women's singles. It's an all-Chinese affair as 7th seed Zhang Yi Man takes on her compatriot 4th seed Han Yue. Then into the mixed doubles, Xiao Sung-jae and Che Yu-jung, the 5th seeds from Korea, are up against the 6th seeds from China, Feng Yangze and Huang Dongping, that new pairing. Into the men's singles final, bit of a surprise here. Lin Chunyi from Chinese Taipei takes on Hong Kong China's Angus Ng-Ka-Long, the 4th seed. Into the men's doubles, and Su Qingheng and Ye Heng-wei of Chinese Taipei up against Indonesia's 4th seeds Leo Rolly Fernando and Daniel Martin. They're on a roll at the moment. And finally, something for the home fans here in the women's doubles. The Korean pair of Baek Han-na and Lee So-hee, they're very new as well, up against the Aim Saad sisters of Thailand, the 2nd seeds, Ben Yapa and Nuntakan. So the path then to the finals. There were hopes, of course, for the home crowd that Supalida Katitong could get there. It was a tight affair. She led in the first and only just lost out in the third. Zhang Yi Man winning that one. Very different story for Han Yue, who cruised through against Su Wenqi in the easiest match of the semi-finals. Let's meet those players then, as they make their way out onto the court from China.
On court 1,
here we go.
Women's single final. Zhang Yi Man from China.
So Zhang Yi Man comes out first. Her greatest achievement in badminton, a 3rd place medal, bronze at the World Championships in 2021, which perhaps surprised a few. And she'll be hoping to get her first title win since 2019. It has been a long, long time for her. It could be her moment.
Han Yue from China.
Han Yue next, who's had a few more medals to her name with China. Uber Cup gold in 2020. The Asian Mixed Team Championships in 2019 that were held in Hong Kong. She's also a former World Junior Champion in the Mixed Team event in 2017 and a former Asian Junior Champion from 2017. She's got a couple more wins under her belt on the World Tour. We'll tell you about that very shortly. These two have obviously played each other a few times. The head-to-head is in Han Yue's favour.
Black for you.
It is 3-1 to Han Yue.
Black
And
on
they
my
met
left.
each other only
Receive.
last week,
Your serve.
with Han Yue winning that in straight games. In fact, all their matches have been straight games wins. That match was held on the 25th of January in the round of 32, so early on in that tournament. The only time that Zhang Yi Man has won is the New Zealand Open in the semi-finals of 2018. See a bit of smoke just hovering over the court from the acts we had earlier, the entry of the players. There's Zhang Yi Man who's now 26 years of age, 168 centimeters tall. Her best ranking, 16th, just a few weeks ago actually, in December 2022. And she's currently 18th in the world. The one title that she has to her name is the 2019 Vietnam Open, which is a Super 100. Well, you can see that her toughest match was the one in the semi-finals against Sudirman. That's not surprising, but the one that did raise a few eyebrows was the opening match against Teta Tuza, which she had to go to 3-4. Han Yue is 23, from the south of China in Fujian, 106 centimeters tall. She has been in that top 10 just a few weeks ago. And she's got 2 HSBC BWF World Tour titles to her name, Sidemodi International in 2018, and late last year at the Hilo Open, where she beat, guess who, Zhang Yi Man in the final. Only dropping 1 game so far. Again, a bit of a surprise in the opening round against Natsuki Nidaira. Mia Blichfeld retired against her as well. A very easy couple of matches following that. She might just come into this in terms of form and head-to-head as the favorite. Lau Chen Lia from Malaysia, I should say, is the umpire. Win Kong Huang from Vietnam is the service judge. So overall, Han Yue has had a few runner-up spots. 2018 Vietnam Open, as well as a Macau Open. 2018 as well. She finished runner-up in the Korea Masters. 2019 Macau Open, also falling just short.
Han Yue, China.
Zhang Yi Man has finished runners-up at the New Zealand Open in 2018, the Lingshui China Masters in 2019, and as we mentioned, the Hilo Open a few months ago.
Zhang Yi Man to serve, level play.
Well, Zhang Yi Man yesterday really found it hard. And she's at the faster end, or what has been the faster end on previous days. Han Yue is going against the drift a little bit, so she can probably push it. Whereas Zhang Yi Man has to be a little mindful of that. Now, that's sort of what we're talking about, but as we heard yesterday from our pundit, Ashwini Ponnappa, of course, who's currently still on the circuit, and former Commonwealth Games champion, Uber Cup and World Champion medalist as well, she was saying you might as well go for it if you're on the far end. Not like that, that's not a great serve, is it? And just get your bearings right, because it's always a little bit different each day. It doesn't matter how many matches you played on this court. Things can change on a daily basis. Well, that's very nicely put away by Han Yue. Yeah, I think she'll be happy to see, Ashwini Ponnappa, that Zhang Yi Man is taking a few more risks, as it were. I say risks with inverted commas, because really this is what she'd want her to do. These are calculated gambles. That's the longest rally we've had of this match so far. Oh, she played that very, very late, looking to gamble on that one. Remember, going against the drift, so always a good chance that it will stay in. This time, she knows for sure that's going to be out. Worked out for her.
3-5.
Oh, that's much better. Soft hands from Zhang Yi Man. Beautifully done. Weighted that shot wonderfully. No chance of Han Yue. Was at the back court, never going to get there. Just as good to watch as Han Yue's shot there. Just a little bit of slice on it.
6-4.
Wide of Zhang Yi Man. Good shots played already by these two. Yeah, it's a nice start, isn't it, from Han Yue? She knows that because of the end she's on, she can sort of take these sort of shots, can really push through on these, rather than perhaps on Zhang Yi Man's end, where there's a danger of them going out. And she's already raced into a 5-point lead here.
9-4.
Don't want to be already getting left behind so early on. That's what must be happening here to Zhang Yi Man. Well, she's producing the odd shot like that, and I think it's imperative for her to do a little bit more of that consistently.
9.
Bangkok represents a bittersweet place for these two players. Both of them winning a Uber Cup medal here, but it was a silver last year in which Korea stunningly beat China in the final. Much to many people's surprise.
6-9.
That's the only time either one of them has contested a final here in Thailand. So that's the issue that Zhang Yi Man will face on that end, or any player would at the moment. So it's a 5-point lead for Han Yue at the interval here in the first game. against Zhang Yi Man, 11-6, which is equal to the biggest lead she's had a little bit earlier on when she was 9-4 up. And I think she'll feel very comfortable about how things have gone so far.
Play. Oh. 12-6.
And that continues now, the problems for Zhang Yi Man. Yeah, so that problem that we've spoken about is rearing its ugly head here for Zhang Yi Man. Already a couple of those points on the back line. Proving difficult for her. As I said earlier, those are the kind of shots that she can produce, Zhang Yi Man.
Service over, 7-13.
You haven't won a title in 4 years.
Thank you.
You're in your second final since that previous title. There's going to be all sorts of things going on in your head. And given that the only other final that you've been into, you lost against this very opponent, well, that's quite a combo, isn't it? And now we are at the biggest lead that Han Yue has enjoyed
14-7.
so far. 7 points clear. Aimed at corner. You could see the kind of thought process there from Han Yue. Oh, that's good. Nicely played there by Zhang Yi Man. Down the line. Good shot from her. Mind you, that's also a good one. Well, that's using those conditions to her advantage, Han Yue.
9.
Cleverly done. Yeah, it's not quite working out for her at the moment. Shots like this. And she's in some trouble here, Zhang Yi Man. Well, that one went way, way over on the serve.
Over, 10-16. Service over, 17-9. 13-10.
Back to that 7-point lead at the moment. It would look very much like Han Yue is on her way. She has not really adapted to those conditions. She found it difficult yesterday. Well, Han Yue is cruising this. She really is. She's playing some really good badminton. And she's just too good for Zhang Yi Man, who really hasn't got a response to any of this. Tight one, but it is just out. And it's 8-5 so far since the interval in favour of Han Yue, which is a slight improvement on how things were earlier. But because of the lead that Han Yue enjoyed prior to the interval, she's still in a very, very good position here.
12-19.
We've got the biggest scalp, I guess you'd say, she's taken was in the quarterfinals of the Bitburger Open last year, where Zhang Yi Man beat Carolina Marin. But you have to put an asterisk next to that one, of course, because she was on the comeback trail. Not quite been at her best yet. Not then, anyway. And she's also, that's a very nice shot, isn't it? Zhang Yi Man. These are just few and far between at the moment. She also beat Wang Ziyi, who was ranked 8 at the time. I'll just correct myself. She came close, but she lost that one. Excuse me. That was in the India Open.
Service over.
Yeah, that's the
20. Game point 13.
She also beat Nozomi Okuhara, the Bitburger Open. Hilo Open, I should say. Seven game points here for Han Yue. One saved.
Service over. 14-20.
Yeah, to her credit, on the way to that final against Han Yue, she beat all players ranked higher than her. These are nice consolation points. That's as good as they are. She saved a couple of them now, Zhang Yi Man. Which might give her a bit of confidence going into the next game, but Han Yue is going to finish us off at some point. As she does. So now, Han Yue has been excellent. Really, from start to finish, she surged ahead early on and never looked back, and then built that lead up. 7 points at one stage, and a very comfortable first game win. She is on the end that has favoured the players, though, so it'll be interesting to see now how Zhang Yi Man copes with things on this end, this nearer end. 21-15 to Han Yue at the end of the first game.
seconds. 20 seconds.
So in the two finals that she has previously contested, Zhang Yi Man, where she's played higher ranked players. One was the New Zealand Open in 2018, which she played Sayaka Takahashi. The other was the Hilo Open, as we said a few months ago, against this player right here, Han Yue. She has lost both of them. And there's those conditions we told you about.
Service over.
And now Zhang Yi Man getting a little, sorry, Han Yue getting a taste of it.
Service over. 1-all.
By the way, when she played in that final against Sayaka Takahashi in the New Zealand Open in 2018, Zhang Yi Man was 119th at the time. Takahashi was 19th, so that's impressive. She got to that final. Top 20 player now, but currently just struggling here. Before you know it, in the blink of an eye, Han Yue is already 3-1 up. Really not that many long rallies. Well, it's Zhang Yi Man is going long on this closer end. No, she can push. Perhaps early on, she'll just want to test the boundaries.
Challenger scored out.
First challenge then of this finals day. It's very much out.
Challenge unsuccessful. One challenge remaining. Service over. 2-4 play. Service over. 5-2.
So those are the kind of shots that Zhang Yi Man was playing, and they were going out. Well, Han Yue has real measure of how things are going here. And that just shows you the difference between these two at the moment. She's already opened up a 4-point lead. Expression at the moment, and body language, it's not positive. I think it's fair to say.
No change. Andre challengers called out.
And you're challenging this one. The last challenge didn't work out. She's prepared to use both of them. She got the last one wrong. And it is indeed out.
Unsuccessful. No challengers remaining. Service over. 3-7 play.
Three points now, the difference. Slightly better from Zhang Yi Man. And she's now having a challenge. It's 3 challenges inside the first few minutes of this second game. Something you see that often. She just needs something to go her way, Zhang Yi Man. Narrow that gap and start to put some pressure on Han Yue, who's not been under pressure at all. That is going to be out, though.
Challenge unsuccessful. 1 challenge remaining. Service over. 8-4 play. Service over.
Well, she wants to keep within that striking distance.
5-8. Service over. 9-6.
So that 3-point margin is about as far as Zhang Yi Man wants us to go.
Service over. 7-9.
She's at the end now that she will feel that she's given more of an opportunity. Another challenge.
8-9.
Well, if that's been given in, then Han Yue will feel that she could have challenged that. She thought that was out. Now, have another look at this. I think that's out. And it was given in, and because it was a bit of a confusion as to what the decision was, she might have felt within her rights. Oh, but she has no challenges. I must just remind you of that as well. Yeah. So she went for the 2 challenges early on. So she's used those up, which was a little bit unusual, because neither one of them was particularly close. Zhang Yi Man, by the way, is a lead for the first time in a long time, and has now actually gone in front at the interval. after trailing by about 3 or 4. So this is a nice little turnaround. Zhang Yi Man leads in the second, with Han Yue having won the first.
Service over, 10-11.
Now, Han Yue, that was a interesting sort of sequence of events just towards the end of the first period of the second game. That's just effortless, isn't it, from Han Yue? How good was that? Beautifully done.
Service over, 11-all.
So Han Yue now goes back in front after a little bit of a hiccup earlier. Oh, that is good. That's what she should be doing. Attempt to really just push the boundaries here. Zhang Yi Man. So interestingly, Han Yue has been in 3 finals where she's played lower-ranked opponents. Zhang Yi Man edges in front again here. Vietnam Open in 2018, where she played Zhang Min. Zhang Min was 92nd in the world, and it was 37th. She lost that one. Too much on that. And is this starting to be a bit of a turning point here for Zhang Yi Man? Han Yue then got to the final of the Career Masters in 2018, lost to Li Xiaorui, who was 31st in the world. She was 21 at the time, Han Yue. She lost that as well. 3 points in a row for Zhang Yi Man. This is her best run.
15-12.
The only time Han Yue has won a final against a lower-ranked opponent is against this very player, Zhang Yi Man, last year at the Hilo Open. Now Zhang is in a good position, 16-12 up. It's a very good turnaround for her. And it just seems to have switched off a little bit. Zhang Yi Man's up to game as well. It's all been timed nicely. Well, this is excellent from Zhang Yi Man. Where was this earlier?
17.
Remember, she was trailing. well wide. It has gone very wrong. This is the kind of way that
12.
Zhang Yi Man was playing. Bit of a cursed end for the players, isn't it? On the far side. Oh, sublime stuff.
19, 12.
Points are coming very quickly for Zhang Yi Man. That seemed hopeful at best, that challenge from Zhang Yi Man.
Wipe the cup, please.
Why not, I suppose. Yeah, that's certainly out. But it's quite the turnaround, because Han Yue looked in absolute control in the first game. And actually she's had a decent lead as well in the second. Yeah, very clearly out. She was 7-2 up, remember. And then it got to 9-all. Really, she's never looked back. And then even 11-all. That's good. That's her certainly now adapting to the conditions far better. Zhang Yi Man was a very slow starter against Sudirman in that semi-final match, but then came good quite spectacularly. And she's converted that first game point in style. We are going to a third.
21-13, 1 game all.
Much better from Zhang Yi Man. And this match beautifully poised now. They'll both get a chance to play at that so-called better end in the final game.
Final game, level play.
You could argue, as well as Han Yue played in that first game,
Service over, 1 love.
she actually had a smaller margin of victory than Zhang Yi Man in the second. That was after a remarkable run of 8 points, really.
2 love.
Where there was no response. It was...
Service over, 1-2.
It was at 12-all at one point. So, if we're going by the ends and how well they've served both players, then Han Yue would want to build up as big a lead as she can going into the interval, where they will then have to swap sides. That is exactly
Service
what we've
over.
been talking about,
2,
those
3.
conditions.
Zhang Yi Man challenges scored in.
Zhang Yi Man feels that was out. Taking a little bit of time to sort this out. Just players a breather. Here we go. Did certainly look out. It was a lot closer than we thought, but it is indeed out.
Out. 3, 4, play.
Good call there from Zhang Yi Man.
Service over. 4, 3. Five, 3.
Yeah, very clearly out that one. Played that one late. Quite often it leads you to losing a point. So if you readjust yourself, it's
3.
unexpected. It's not a great shot that you can play. And this is where Hanya wants to be at least 3 to 4 points ahead by the time it gets to the interval.
Zhang Yi Man
It's a challenge from
challenges
Zhang Yi Man.
scored out.
I'm not going to say whether I think that's in or out anymore because I got the last one wrong, but certainly looked like it was out. This time she is not successful in her
One
challenge,
remaining.
and this is now starting to look like a very decent lead
3.
for Anya. She's had this sort of lead in all 3 games so far, Anya, and she's made use of one. She really frittered away the other in the second game. It was in fact even a better lead than this. Not going to challenge this.
4, 7.
Oh, what about that for a nonchalant backhand from Zhang Yi Man?
5, 7.
Look at the way she played this. Well, sometimes shots like that can just be a catalyst. And she's only a point behind now, Zhang Yi Man. Well out, and all of a sudden now,
7,
Zhang Yi Man will feel confidence coursing through her veins. This is a very good. She's just won 4 in a row here.
Wipe the cup, please. Service over. 8, 7.
Well, the best she can hope for at the interval, Anya, is 11-8, which I think Zhang will be okay with. I should just correct myself. 11-7 is the best that Anya can hope for now at the interval, and be fairly acceptable to her, I think. Not far away from achieving that. Zhang's job, of course, now is to narrow that lead before Anya gets to 11. As much as she can. And it will indeed be 11-7 Anya. This one has gone back and forth a bit, hasn't it? And it'll be really interesting to see now how Zhang Yi Man responds on this near end. Where she really prospered in the previous game.
Play.
Zhang Yi Man, here she is now.
Service over, 8-11.
She immediately pulls one back now. She can do this right at the start of this second period, as it were. That would really stand her in good stead. Oh, the chance was there for Anya, and she couldn't take it.
11.
And all of a sudden, Zhang Yi Man is only a point away. This has been really good for her. Well, that is hugely disappointing for Anya. And those 4 points have been wiped out in less than 2 minutes by Zhang Yi Man, who will feel now she's got a real shot at this. It's incredible how this end, that far end, playing there just completely changes things for the players. This match has been hugely noticeable. Still plenty of time though. Just giving the net doing its part.
No change.
Yeah, that's all going in. She's happy, Zhang Yi Man. She has now won 7 points in a row. This is the kind of run she embarked on in the second game. It's incredible, isn't it? It really is. such a massive difference. But she desperately needed that, Han Yue. It's a bit of a sigh of relief there, puff of the cheeks.
14.
Well, this is
14.
it's all the makings of a classic finish, because suddenly it's Han Yue who's trying to pick up some points. And yeah, in double quick time, Han Yue now has battle back. It is all square here. Mind you, Zhang has had a much better time post-interval. It's third game. It's nicely done by Zhang Yi Man.
Service over. 15-14.
But what we've got to like here is the fact that
over.
much as
15-all.
Zhang Yi Man has dragged herself back into this, Han Yue has stuck it out on that so-called tougher end, and there's nothing between them now. So they're just inching towards that finish line. Every time you hear that noise, it's Zhang Yi Man sort of celebrating a point. Nice little deception from her. Two in a row from Zhang.
17-15.
Wouldn't go over.
18.
Oh, it did in the end.
15.
Excuse me. Well, I thought it hadn't quite got there. It was the sheer power that carried over the shuttle.
Service over. 16-18.
So 2 points in it here. Women's singles final of the Thailand Masters 2023. And yeah, it's not going to go without a bit of a fight.
Play.
1 point in it. Great reactions there from Han Yue. And that is good for Zhang Yi Man. 34 shots, the longest rally.
19-17.
Yeah, it was in. Yeah, just didn't get that cleanly in. That was important for
Service
Hanyue
over.
to
18,
limit that
19.
deficit.
Thank you.
So now just the 1 point in it between these two, and it's really nicely poised. Hanyue gets to 19 all. This is really can go anyone's way. But remember, Zhang has this end, as she has really done well. 11 of the next 19 points. And she's now given herself 2 match points.
Service over.
Zhang Yi Man,
20, match point 18.
big moment here. Make that a little bit late. She's won it, Zhang Yi Man. Her first win. Zhang Yi Man, since the Vietnam Open in 2019. She avenges her loss to Hanyue at the Halo Open final last year. And this is her biggest ever win of her career.
Match
Super
won by
300.
15, 21,
And she's come back
21, 30,
from the dead.
21,
She looked to be out
18.
for the count after that first game. She was trailing 2-7 in the second and 3-7 in the third. She showed great resolve. Remember, yesterday she had a very, very tricky semi-final against Sudirman. And she only just scraped through that one. But she showed great resolve in all those situations. And Zhang Yi Man, the 7th seed, has beaten her compatriot, the 4th seed, Hanyue, 15-21, 21-13, 21-18. And she's done it in 55 minutes. We are going to have prize giving shortly. Look back at the highlights here.
Congratulations to Princess SIRIVANNAVARI Thailand 2023 Women's Singles Champion. Now playing at the award ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the award presentation ceremony for the Princess SIRIVANNAVARI Thailand Masters 2023 Women's Singles. First, may we invite to the stage General Surachet Chaiwong, Chairman of the Committee on Sports, to present the Royal Trophy. Give a big hand for our women's singles champion from China, Zhang Yi Man. And congratulations to this year's 2023 runner-up from China, Han Yu. Together for this year's 2023 Women's Singles Champion from China, Zhang Yi Man! General Surachet Chaiwong, you may now present the trophy to our athletes. Very much, General Surachet Chaiwong. Next, please welcome Mr. Grengan Kanchanapokin, the Co-Chief Executive Officer, Index Creative Village Public Company Limited, to present the prize money to our athletes. Now, please welcome Mr. Vichai Kichanatipong, Advisory of the Badminton Association of Thailand, under the royal patronage of His Majesty the King, to present the bouquet. And now the moment that we've been waiting for. One more time, put your hands together for this year's 2023 Women's Singles Champion from China, Zhang Yi Man!
So there are your winners, and your Zhang Yi Man, her second ever title on the HSBC BWF World Tour, her biggest win yet. That's a wonderful achievement for her. And for Han Yue. That's her 5th runner-up spot on the tour. A delight here for Zhang Yi Man, who stuck it out and really took some time to get going. She'll be delighted with this. Especially with first round exits at both the Malaysia Open and the India Open and the Indonesia Masters. To go from there to winning a tournament after 3 first round exits in a row, well, that's absolutely superb for her. And that will do her a world of good, really, won't it? It's the first time these two have ever gone to 3 matches as well. The 3 games, I should say, excuse me, in their 5 matches against each other. And for Han Yue, well, she's had 2 second-round exits at both the Malaysia Open and the India Open. She got to the semi-finals of the Indonesia Masters, where she lost to Marin. Fallen just short here, but she'll feel that she is probably getting better. So as Zhang Yi Man basks in the glory and claims that $15,750 US check for the champion in the women's singles.
2023 Princess
We will look out for the next match coming up. It's the mixed doubles final as Korea take on China. We are in Bangkok, capital of Thailand, for the Super 300 tournament here in the HSBC BWF World Tour. It is the Thailand Masters 2023. And on finals day, we've already had the first match that's just being completed with Zhang Yi Man taking her first title in 4 years. Next up, it's the mixed doubles final. Chiu Sung Jae and Che Yu Jung of